The Darkdrift Knight is a fair and entertaining fight. That is one of my favorite Night Lords to battle. My first solo and second altogether fight against him went better than expected, with a great amount of experience and a lucky weapon purchase. I hope you all enjoy. The relics I used were the Grand Burning Scene from the Jar Bazaar, that granted fire along with Wilder's Pile Bunker, and +2 in strength and dexterity. Another Grand Burning Scene that increased rune acquisition, gave me a Stone Sword key upon the start of the expedition, and lowered the prices in all shops. Finally, I had Knight of the Baron for better critical hits, ultimate gauge recharge on critical hits, and a stamina boost after criticals. I went to the camp right at spawn to reach level 2, before going to a point of interest to fight a fire monk. He dropped a Banished Knight's Greatsword with continuous health recovery. Next, there were battle mages in the magic ruins. I took out the first one with my moveset, and finished off the second one with a pile bunker. They gave me a nice early 10% rune acquisition boost. Before I went into the magic castle nearby, I stopped by the merchant, which had a Lightning Warhawk's Talon. Lightning is the Darkdrift Knight's weakness, so I knew I would be defeating him with this weapon. I just used my pile bunker, so I poised broke the golem with my greatsword, and he dropped Bloodhound's Claws for bleed damage. There was another weapon I picked up here too, as in the chest nearby, there was an iron greatsword with poison affinity. I stopped by my first Marika church and went right into some fire ruins. As I was plunge attacking the flame chariots, Libra cursed me and took away about a third of my HP. This forced me to sidetrack to pay off this charlatan and remove that awful health debuff, which came at the price of 15,000 runes. After getting ripped off, I went to the second Marika church and the mine to procure myself a smithing stone 2 for that Lightning Warhawk's Talon. Nearby, there were some Albinaurics in a ruin. With the use of a blood loss weapon, this was a cakewalk. They dropped even more rune acquisition for me. Having 2 boosts like this was really nice to have on day 1. On the first night, the Knight's Cavalry spawned in. I started off using that poison-infused greatsword to proc that status effect, and then switched to the Bloodhound Claws to proc bleed on them. Per usual, the fight was uneventful. The first field boss of day 2 was a Miranda Blossom. That fire monk at the start of the expedition dropped me a fire-infused greatsword, so the enemies here spent more time burning than attacking me. They dropped a 20% buff for my healing. The Eastern Everjail had an Apostle inside. Because it was an Everjail boss, it spawned at 3/4 health. 3/4 health that was easily incinerated by Bloodhound's Claws. I decided to take the 20,000 extra runes as a reward. The third Marika church came before another Everjail, this one being one of my least favorites. A ton of Misbegotten. I don't dislike them because they're difficult. They're honestly just annoying. They gave me another 10,000 runes, which got me to level 10. I made a quick purchase of a Wending Grace on the merchant outside the castle before heading in. A Leonine Misbegotten was in the basement. This boss hits really hard when he's in this location, but he is still weak to bleed, and especially weak to armored core weapons. The drop here was a weapon with improved damage negation at full health, and the talisman was Erdtree's Favor, for more stamina and HP, making it one of my favorite talismans to find. Since it was the middle of day 2, now was a great time to go and start clearing out the castle. The Elder Lion right outside the gates gave me a boost in stamina recovery, and I spent the rest of that afternoon clearing out Banished Knights and Exile Soldiers. They may not be bosses, but the XP gain from here is much better than just clearing out ruins for day 2. The storm began to close in, but on the way there were some holy ruins. They were more Albinaurics, and with my increased level and still holding on to the Bloodhound's Claws, they succumbed faster than the Banished Knights in the castle. I obtained an affinity boost from them. That was perfect for my Lightning Warhawk's Talon. Silver Tears spawned at the start of the Night 2 boss, preceding a dragonkin soldier. They're not my favorite fight, and I don't have too much experience with them, but once you see the timing of some of their sweeping attacks, you'll get down the flow of this fight quickly enough. I finished the fight with a bleed proc to get better ultimate charge, and level up to 14, a great level to be at, with a purple weapon that has the boss's weakness as its affinity. The Merchant of Day 3 had a Opaline Heart tier and a Crimson Burst Crystal tier for sale. These grant damage negation for a time and steady healing respectively, and are the exact tiers I use in Elden Ring proper if I want to play it safe. Fulghor is a fight with really well telegraphed attacks. He does not have those really delayed hits that we are all used to seeing in Elden Ring. After a few attacks, he charges to smash his spear into the ground. That is when you want to hit him with the lightning debuff. That lightning damage will cancel his special move and inflict damage over time on him. Some moves later in the fight hit hard, but even in the second phase, where he grows a new arm, it was not impossible to dodge those hits on sight. Without using either quick revive, the free solo revive, the Wilder cheat death ability, or the 2 tiers I purchased, I defeated Fulghor on my second attempt and first solo attempt. I don't think these fights are getting easier, but rather I'm just getting the hang of the game more. I'm walking into these fights at a much higher level, and at the 20 hours of experience I had for this fight, I was much more comfortable with Wilder's playstyle. This goes to show you how much easier these games are if you put in the time and get good, for lack of a better term. For another Night Lord fight I found even easier than this one, be sure to stay tuned for the Fissure in the Fog fight. I will be posting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time this Friday.